Making money, money everywhere she goes. You know, pesos out of Mexico. Commas and them dead.
I'm going to start off doing my eyebrows. I'm going to be using my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and this is in the shade Caramel. And I already did one eye, as you can see, so I'm going to start on the other. Alright, so now that I'm done with my eyebrow, I'm just going to clean up around it and we're going to start priming the eyes. So now that we're done with the eyebrows, I'm just going to be taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer and clean up around it. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to be taking the shade Tempera all over the lid to the brow bone. I'm going to be taking the shade Burnt Orange and I'm going to be running that on the crease. So I'm just going to continuously pack on that burnt orange shade. More stiffer crease brush. This is a basic Wet n Wild brush. And I'm going to be taking the shade Real Gar, which is this deep orange shade, running that in the crease. Okay, now I'm going to be mixing the shade Cypress Umber or something like that, and the same orange shade on the bottom. I'm just going to mix those two. And placing that into the crease, just to give it a little bit more smoky effect. Now, if you feel like you lost some of your orange, you can go back over it with some orange, but right now I'm just going to be softly diffusing this color I laid down, and then I'm going to go over it with that shade Real Gar once again on the crease. Okay, so now that that's blended, I'm going to dip into that Real Gar shade, that bright orange we placed in the crease. And I'm going to be touching that up in the crease, as well as applying that on my lid. This is going to be our lid color. You see how I made my eyes just pop with that orange color? I'm going to be blending everything in together with this fluffy crease brush. Just touching up the other eye. And then I'm going to go back over here. Just going to be blending everything together. I don't want to touch the lid. Go back in with burnt orange and touch up my transition color just a little bit. The brow bone with the lightest shade, Tempera. This palette is such a good palette. I really do recommend it. I love all of these colors that are in here. It's colors that I gravitate towards. I love really warm, I love maroon shades on the eyes. I think it's really pretty on all eye colors. My crease brush, I'm just going to be diffusing the edges from the transition to the brow bone. Now that is done, I'm going to be lining Rimmel ink eyeliner pencil. It's a white color. It says a 24-hour wear. Color precise. And it looks like that. The tip is like a felt tip liner. This isn't that pigmented. I had to layer it on at least 4 times to get it this pigmented. So yeah, I'm just going to be making a wing. Now that that white eyeliner is setting, I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild Color Icon Nude Pencil. This is in the shade Calling Your Buff, I believe. So I'm just going to be placing that in the waterline to make the eyes appear larger. And I like to do this because my eyes are very small and round. So I like to do this to make them look more open and wider. I like to extend them out this way to make them appear more wider. And that's just a little trick. If you have smaller eyes or if you have round eyes, you can just take some nude eyeliner and drag it out past your waterline just a little bit. I'm going to go back in with that eyeliner. I believe the NYX one is way better, but I just got it because I was at Walmart and they do not have NYX in Walmart. So now that we're done with the eyes, we can move on to the face. Now I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Primer, and it's going to cover all my pores that I have right now. And I just like to take it with my fingers directly on my nose where I get oily. And then in between the brows, all over the forehead, and whatever I have left, I just like to run the rest across my face. Okay, now I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is in the shade Warm Nude. And I'm going to take about 2.5 pumps, and I'm just going to be dotting that all over the face. And now with this Beauty Blender dupe, it's only $1 from shopmissa.com. This is amazing. I'm going to be blending it out. I do have a lot of breakouts right now, so please excuse this friend over here that decided to join. Now I'm going to be taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Creamy Beige. And I'm going to be using this as my concealer and to highlight the under eyes. Now that my concealer is blended, I'm going to be baking my face. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Master Fix Studio Powder. I'm going to be taking just this basic triangular sponge, packing on as much powder as I can where I would normally bake. Baking makes such a difference in your makeup, in my opinion. Especially under these hot lights, they're really going to start baking. You can see the powder flying everywhere. I'm gonna bake my chin. Now I'm going to be setting my face with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. Now I'm going to be taking my Naked Fleshed palette from Urban Decay. I'm going to be picking up this bronzer color. And I'm just going to be bronzing up my skin. Just a tiny bit on the cheeks. I'm going to be mostly bronzing my forehead because we're going to be contouring my cheeks. Because I'm going to be contouring my cheeks. So I'm just going to be bronzing my forehead. Now I'm going in with my Kat Von D contouring palette. I'm going to be taking the shade Subconscious, which is the coolest shade in here. And this is going to be my contour. And that on the sides of the nose as well. I'm going to be removing the bake. Now with that same Naked palette, I'm going to be taking this blush and applying that to the apples of the cheeks. Kind of like a corally color. I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped. I'm going to be mixing the shade Tourmaline and Summer. And I'm going to be applying it to the tip of the nose as well as the top of the bridge. Since we're going for that very glowy look, I'm just going to be packing on that highlight and then buffing it out with the other side of the brush so it doesn't look too harsh. This one came out a little bit too harsh, but it's okay. That's why you can use a powder brush and just blend it into the skin. Now I'm going to be applying it a little bit on the forehead as well. To set the face, I'm using the Maybelline Master Fix Setting Spray. I'm going to be taking Max Spice Lip Liner. As this sets, I'm just going to be doing my lips. I'm going to be taking MAC's Kinda Sexy lipstick, the very peachy color. Since we're going for that very dewy glossy look, I'm going to be taking Lorax lip gloss in the shade Duchess. Alright guys, so that was it. If you guys like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!